Well, here we go, man. Hopefully this will be the last video I make with Legend. Since my last video, the last video I made, I had that medical emergency where I had to take a few days off. But trying to get back to work with Legend was even harder, man. I mean, I couldn't believe it. They wanted to fire me, and they really wanted me to quit, and they had me jump through a whole lot of hoops and just to come back to work. I do have my little medical issue, and I have to get a surgery done. And so they called me into the office one day. I had been trying to go back to work, calling. They said, okay, you need to go get a doctor's release. So I go to my doctor's, get a doctor's release. You need to go take a drug test. I go take the drug test. You need to do this. Everything they told me to do, I did. I'm trying to get back to work. It just keep prolonging me, not answer the phone. So finally, I just decided, okay, well, one day I'm just going to drive there and see what's what. Hey, man, I had actually set up a job interview for later on that afternoon for a local company here in Phoenix. So I went in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I had my interview set up for 12:30. So I had really went in with the intentions of quitting, to make it official, and to clean my truck out, to get everything out of my truck. I moved to Phoenix to work for Legend. I hadn't really had time to get settled in. I haven't got an apartment yet, so everything I pretty much owned was still in the truck. I had to get out the truck abruptly because of my medical issue. So I went down to the yard to basically quit and to clean my truck out. And so when I go in and to talk to the guy everybody says you need to talk to, so I talked to the safety guy, Larry, and the first thing that comes out of his mouth before I could say, hey man, I'm done, is, hey, would you like to switch over to local until you have your surgery? And that way we don't have to worry about you getting sick on the load, or you getting sick out there and whatnot, and you be close to home and you're home every day. So I was like, man, wow, yeah, I would really like that, man. I would like that a lot, actually, man. Thank you. And I felt good. I felt like, hey, they do care, and they are trying to work with me. And so I was actually kind of happy. So he says, all right, well, let me figure everything out and see what I got to do, and I'll give you a call and let you know. I said, all right, well, cool. And then the yard manager comes out and he says something to me about a fuel card, or gives me a new fuel card. I'm like, I still got my old fuel card. I guess you guys turned it off, and I don't know. So that's how bad they really wanted me to go. But so I go to my truck, and my truck's sitting by the mechanics. So they moved my truck, and I go in my truck. Absolutely nothing in my truck. Everything I own was in this truck. My phone holder, my GPS, my TV, my George Foreman grill, my coffee pot, my little food warmer oven, every Bluetooth speakers. I had my big, we truck drivers, we good at saving change. I had a big jug, hundreds of dollars of change. I had $100 bill, a whole bunch of $2 bills, a couple pair of brand new shoes. Just everything I owned was in this truck, and there was nothing inside this truck. And the mechanic had my hat on his head. So I was like, hey, where's my stuff? And I had to literally physically snatch my hat off his head. Like, hey man, why do you got my hat on? Where's all my stuff at? And he tells me, well, they told us to clean your truck out. They told you to clean my truck out? What do you mean? I've been talking to them every day, pretty much, and they didn't say nothing to me. And I even asked them, do I need to come down there to clean my truck out? Because the day I do come down to clean my truck out, you guys had already did it. But I've been keeping in communication with you guys, and you guys told me as long as I don't plan on quitting, that I'll be okay if I'm just on a medical leave. So I asked the yard man. I go inside, ask the yard manager, hey, these guys said you told them to clean my truck out. He was like, well, what's your truck? He says, oh man, I did it on accident. But they just did it, like literally, as I was inside talking to the guy about the switching lanes into the local lane. They were still in the process of cleaning my truck out. So that means all my stuff still should be there. So then I said, well, where's my stuff? He said, well, we threw it in the dumpster. Threw everything in the dumpster. Now they, there's piss bottles, shit bags, all types of nasty shit in this dumpster. So I'm not jumping through this dumpster. The yard manager said he will. He jumped in and he started pulling out stuff, and not even half the stuff was found. Of course they separated, kept the stuff that they wanted to keep, and threw away the stuff they didn't want to keep. So I'm asking them, where's everything else at? They not saying nothing to me. They not even acknowledge me. I mean, I promise you, the guy, I'm standing face to face with the guy, and I'm pissed, man. I mean, I am pissed. And I'm talking to him like, hey, man, why'd you go in my truck, man? Why'd you take everything? And everything should still be here. Where's my money at? Where's this at? Where's that at? And he's just looking the other way, not looking at me. And I'm standing face to face with the dude. He can't even look at me. So then I say, okay, man, my change. I had that big jug of change. Where's my big jug of change? And he's still not saying nothing. And then I was like, man, where's my cash at? And then all of a sudden he goes from, cash? There was no cash. But you didn't have nothing to say about the other stuff. And yeah, there was some cash. So, the yard manager, he goes through the dumpster, pulls out the stuff, man, and he was like, man, yeah, we can't find this, you can't find that, your laptop. So we go inside and we start talking, and he's apologizing to me, man. I'm so sorry, man. This is my fault, man. This should have never happened. This was an accident, and whoop, man. And so I'm like, man, but that don't help me. So we go back outside, and he wants to take pictures of the stuff that he pulled out the dumpster, and that way we can compare it to what was in the dumpster and what was not in the dumpster. And so as we go back out to the dumpster, there's another pile on the side of some of the big stuff, like the TV, the laptop, and you got to have the code, my password to get into the laptop, and TV's kind of big. And so there's just stuff that wasn't in the dumpster, that wasn't in the truck, that was nowhere around. But all of a sudden, it just popped up. And even the yard manager was like, oh, that's strange. This stuff just popped up out of nowhere. But nobody knows who put it there, or who did what, or who did anything. But the moral of the story is Legends is a thief. Their mechanics got access to your trucks. I've actually watched them, I've seen them put stuff to the side. Like they pile up stuff, the stuff they go keep. And Legend, they never called me. Say, give me an opportunity to come get my stuff out of my truck. They didn't fire me. I'm still working for Legend. I still drive for Legend. I'm still here. And so I'm going through all this, man, and I just go blank, man. I see red. I'm honest, man. I spent 10.5 years in prison, man, and I've never had nothing stolen from me, man. I've never had, you just don't do that, man. And in 10.5 years, man, I've never had anything stolen from me, man. I just don't, and I don't steal from people, So I felt super, super violated, man. And the old me really almost really came out, man. I almost lost everything that day, man. It's just, it hurt really bad, man. So, I need to leave. I need to leave. So I left, man, to calm down, and a couple days later, he calls me and says, hey, all right, well, come on in. I'll talk to the owner. We're going to reimburse you for your things. And we got the paper for you to sign. We need to come on in today. Can you, come in right now and sign this paper for me? So I went in and I signed the paper, man, and he told me to write out a list of the stuff that was in the truck. He told me, come in, write a list out what was in the truck. They're going to reimburse me and sign the paper. So I came in, filled the list out, signed the paper. He, telling me, hey, this is just temporary till you have your surgery, and then you go back to your lanes. And he didn't tell me that, okay, you signed this paper. Now, the day they had me sign this paper was May 26, 2023. On May 27th of 2023, I was supposed to get my 6 months retention bonus. Because I signed that paper on the May 26th, because they called me in the office to come sign that paper. He was like, you need to come in today to sign this paper. And because I went in that day, and because of the, he just kept talking to me, man, and this is, basically explaining to me what I was signing, but he didn't explain to me that, okay, hey, man, you're switching lanes, you're not gonna get your bonuses no more, you're not gonna have insurance, you're not gonna do this. He didn't explain none of that to me, man, and again, it was only supposed to be temporary, so I didn't think I was gonna lose my bonuses or anything. And here it is, the end of June, man, and I've been fighting with them, man. Like, hey, man, you know, that's kind of weird, man, that you guys are happy signing that piece of paper the day before I get the bonus. And then, you know, I'm going through my pay stubs again. I got to figure out how to take like a screenshot to be able to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So I might have to go buy another phone and make a video and show, you know, you guys my settlements, man. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been with Legend now for going on 8 months, and year to date I'm at $22,000. $22,000, and I was over the road for the first 6 months. I've made these videos. This is my third video. There's no money with Legend. Absolutely no money with Legend. I hate going. I'm the type of person, man. I don't know this about me, man. I don't know how to quit. I don't, you know. I called these people so many. I've called and quit 4 or 5 times. I've had other jobs, four other jobs, and called these people, and they talked me out of it. Man, please stay. Please stay. It's hard to find drivers like you. Things have changed. Just give me a chance. Just give me one more weekend. And then I'll always be the sucker. Yes, it's my fault. I'm always the sucker. And I stay. And I wanted to quit. And I wanted to quit so bad, man. And well, I'm quitting. If I don't get that 6 months bonus, and I'm on this paycheck tomorrow, today will be my last day. You know, regardless of anything, you guys knew what you guys was doing. These companies, they find a way to take these bonuses from you. They found a way to, they know, first of all, they know their turnover rate is high, so they know most people are not even going to stick around for even a good portion of those. Because they have a $15,000 sign-on bonus, and it's paid out in 3 years. And they know people are not going to stay 3 years. People are not going to stay 2 years. And now they're going to stay more likely than 6 months. And so all the bonuses up to the 6 months is just a couple $100. It ain't really much. And after the 6 months, it's the bigger bonus. And so I was kind of really hoping on that, man. But the point is, I'm still here with Legend. I'm still in the exact same truck that my stuff was stolen out of. I still don't have that bonus. Now I'm making $21 an hour local with no insurance, no bonuses. And then they can't even pay us right. Last week I worked 56 hours and 55 minutes. They round out to, you know, I've worked for companies that do that for tax purposes. They round to even numbers. You know, I've even worked for a guy who wants you to fill up on the dollar sign and stop at 000, closest to as possible, to make it easier for taxes. And they try to make it easy. Well, they actually round down. So instead of paying me for the 56, 55 hours, they pay me 56 and 30 minutes. You can't round down. I want every minute that I work for. And then they sit there and argue with you and then try to talk to you like you're stupid. And I'm buying another phone. I want you to see what she did. Then she tries to tell me. I said, well, the math that you just sent me, your math equation, it makes no sense to me. And I sent it to my driver manager. He's like, it makes no sense to him either. So I sent it to my mother. My mother is a genius. She made no sense to her. I sent it to my old boss, who's an accountant. It made no sense to her. I sent it to other drivers. It made no sense to them. Everybody that I sent this to, because I couldn't make sense out of it, how she came up with the math. And I'm trying to call it. There's no communication. You can't talk to these people, man. They won't talk to you at Legend. They'll give you the runaround. There's no escalating, no situation at Legend. You can cancel that out. It is not a driver-friendly company. They don't give a fuck about their drivers. Excuse my language. They don't care about their drivers. I'm upset. Man, I am angry, actually, man. It hurts to be angry. They don't care about their drivers. Not a driver-friendly company. They don't want to talk to you. You're annoying to them. You bug them. They try to overwork you and underpay you. Try not to pay you if they can. Promise you bonuses. They're not giving them to you, man. I got sick. They kept me out on the road for 9 days. I bled. The whole inside of this truck was covered in blood. I got hemorrhoids. I got hemorrhoids really bad. I mean, my cushion, you can still see there's some blood stains there, man. It was just, it was bad. And I got the cushion after I started getting better. So that little bit of blood that I just seen, that little blood stain, was at the tail end of it. But this whole truck was covered in blood. And I'm calling them. I'm like, hey man, could you please get me home? I'm out there in Northern California and I live in Phoenix. Could you please get me home, man? I need to go to my doctor. And it was embarrassing. I didn't want to tell him, hey man, I got hemorrhoids issues. So I just told him I have a family emergency. Well, after like a day and a half of noticing that he's not getting me nowhere close to head home, so I said, hey man, what's going on, man? I got to get home, man. I'm having an emergency. And he says, what kind of emergency? So I told him, hey man, I'm having a medical emergency, man. And his response was, well, you told me the other day it was a family emergency. Which is it, family or medical? Now, I don't believe you. You need to go do your load. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, I have an emergency. I need to get home. You need to get me home. I shouldn't have to sit there and open up about my medical problems with you. It's embarrassing, first of all, and it's personal and it's private. It's none of your business. I'm telling you, I'm having an emergency and I need to get home. 8 days they took to get me home finally, man. I mean, it was so gross. It not only blood, it was shit. It was shit, and I had no control over my bowel movements, my body no more. My body shut down. My hemorrhoids popped out and it wouldn't pop. It wouldn't go back in. That was the first time in my life I couldn't get it back in. It's because I stayed out for so long, and that's the reason why I got to get surgery. I've had hemorrhoids for almost 16 years, and I learned how to live with it. I've never had an outbreak like that, but because I wasn't able to get home and they kept me out because he thought I was lying to him. Now I had to get surgery. I mean, it literally took 3 weeks for them to go back up. I thought I wanted to die. Man, it was painful. Hemorrhoids are painful, man, and it was sad. And so now, I'm just at the point, man. So, you know, they stole my bonus, no insurance, $21 an hour, switched me lanes, and guess it, you know, it was something permanent. And then they tell me, oh, you're good, you do good. I like it. They want to keep me. I am a good worker. I am an honest. I try to be as honest as I can. I try to just do my job. I don't want to cheat you. You know, that's what I was trying to explain to them about the hours. You know, when I'm done for the day, man, and I pull into the yard and I see that it's 9:56, I'm not going to sit there and try to wait for 4 minutes so I can get an even time. I'm clocking off right then and there because I'm done. And if I sit there and wait 4 minutes and I do that 5 days a week, that's 20 minutes. A month, that's an hour and 20 minutes. That's kind of like stealing. But they steal from us, so why not steal from them? Well, that's not the type of person I am. It's okay. I mean, it's not okay that they steal from me, but it doesn't make me a thief. It makes me an idiot for staying. Hey, man, I love trucking, man, and I love you truckers, man. You guys be safe, man, and man, just we need to stop letting these people treat us like this, man. I mean, I'm 12 years old. Look at all these grays. No, but Legend, man, they did me bad, man, and show some love and be safe.